Sweet. It's working. Okay, that's weird. So I would appreciate everybody who hasn't, and pretty much that's everybody but Tucker, um, putting their character. I'm gonna send a link. Putting your characters in D&D Beyond because they finally have the Twitch stream overlays working.
Okay.
Okay. So wait, what do you want me to do? Because I'm
You've
on
already,
D&D Beyond.
yeah, no, you've already done it. You're the only one that has done it.
Okay. So with the overlays, are we still going to be using Hangouts? Or are we shifting over to?
Yeah. All the
Discord?
overlay does is it displays your character, the conditions they have on them, and their current HP.
Okay.
And then if we don't have viewers, but if they wanted to, they can actually hover over your character, and they get a pop out of your character sheet.
Okay.
That's all the overlay does. It's not a video thing. It's just for that purpose. They finally had it working. So
So in order to do that, what do you need people to do?
just put your character in the.
people?
You have it set up, Tugger. The only thing that.
Yeah, well, I know like Chris has his set up in D&D Beyond too.
But I need to send a link, and you just.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I need to send the link, and you add it to my campaign.
Cool.
And it'll come up. In fact, I might have the link actually set up.
Did you want to try to have us do that right now?
No, don't worry about it right now.
Just sometime during this next week.
Yeah, just sometime during this next week it would be helpful.
Would it be easier for you if you put the link in Roll20 so that whenever we get our characters into D&D Beyond, we can use that link from Roll20?
Yeah, I just need to do that real quick. Give me a second. I sent the wrong link. I thought it was in my clipboard. It was not.
Hi, Puma.
There. That's the link you need to add your character.
Yay, homework.
Copy. Add.
Okay, so Chester's going to be late, so we'll go ahead and start, I guess.
I thought Chester wasn't going to be able to make
I'm sorry, Chester's not going to be able to make it. But we'll go ahead and start.
Okay, for Shayna, and have you already started streaming?
Yeah.
Okay, for Shayna and anyone who might end up watching, tripped over our cat Monday night, so the shiner is actually from me possibly breaking a plate with my face.
It is not possible. She definitely broke a plate with her face. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. You guys have just arrived back to Suabos. Where are you guys mooring? Are you going back to Kulkarn's Rest, or would you like to go somewhere else?
Well, I think we were planning to go back to Kulkarn's Rest because, if I remember right, Full Moon and Rendell wanted to check on the club and actually let their people that went with them to go back and do their things. So I think we were headed back to Kulkarn's Rest.
Yeah, I don't think we want anyone else who hasn't already seen the ship to see it. So
Okay. Simple enough. It doesn't take you long. You land in the sea as you are ships, so therefore have to touch down in the water. But I would say you probably touch down 4 hours away from the docks, and just basically taxi your way in. As you arrive, there is a ship that kind of splits the difference in size from either of your ships. You now realize it's probably getting the end of winter. It's actually, anyone that's paying attention to the calendar, it's about 3 weeks away from the vernal equinox.
Okay.
Did we lose some time somewhere? Or?
You were between travel, it took you 2 weeks back and forth to the city, and you left in a month after. Remember, there's only 11 months in the calendar year here. So time is a little bit more compressed. There's only like 270 days in a calendar year.
Oh, okay. So it's not just the months aren't longer, the year is shorter.
Yeah, each month is only 28 days long.
Okay.
That's me being out of character. That me being lazy mathematically. It's a lot easier to deal with all the months being exactly 4 weeks long.
Right.
So the as you guys arrive, there is a single ship in port you recognize as the Crimson Zephyr. You can now tell it is, while it's not nearly as big as the Falling Star, it's significantly bigger than the Astral Scythe.
Is that Molly's ship?
Yeah,
Yep.
That's Molly's ship.
How much bigger? For those that don't know with the ship.
Okay, so the Astral Scythe is 78 feet long, while the Fallen Star is 160. So you're looking at
That'd be really cramped quarters for 20 crew.
it's not a big ship. There's a lot of remember, a tall ship has a lot more decks than you would imagine, and
Right.
pretty much the entire, except for the captain's quarters on the Astral Scythe, it's one big berthing area. Everybody's in hammocks.
Right, and then a big cargo area underneath.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's no
Okay.
engine room on a tall ship, so all the majority of it would be taken up by berthing.
Okay.
So the Crimson Zephyr is, I would say, about 118 feet long. Its mass layout is still a cutter, so it's the same as the Astral Scythe. It's just longer. It's not. The Fallen Star is, by the way, a two-masted ship. It's a brigantine, so it's all square sails. There's no foresail. As you guys kind of maneuver your way in, the Fallen Star can moor, but it has to moor a little bit further away. It's probably the biggest ship that could possibly make it in here. While the Astral Scythe is nimble enough to get up right against the docks. As you guys approach, you can see Molly and actually Lioness seem to be having a discussion about something. You see little Warren, well, not little, he's now 9, but you see Warren and his weird miniaturized ankylosaurus hanging out on his shoulder, and they seem to be discussing something.
Okay. Ask permission. I actually have to go up to Lioness and let her know I'm back in the area. So I will moor. I will pay my crew and give them a really brief rundown of the town and tell them they've got leave for the night.
The orcs just point us to the nearest bar.
Best one's the Copper Quarrel, and I'll.
They just immediately head there, grab their
Yep.
pay, and go.
Yep. I take my helmet. Avis, I'm sure, also heads off to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I take the helmet, and I probably will run into the dockmaster first, and then head straight to Lioness, because I have to. Go
There
ahead.
really isn't a dock master here. I mean, there's people that run the docks, but it's not like a single person, and there is no like real slip fee. Generally speaking, the town views the taxes and the trade that ships bring with it to be its own revenue source.
Okay. Well, in that case, after mooring, I'll head over to the Crimson Zephyr to talk to Lioness. So I'll walk up. I don't know what the Falling Stars crew is going to do.
What is the Fallen Stars crew doing?
Well, talking to our captain, of course, because we have to have quarters before we leave the boat. Then whatever captain says we're going to do. Then after that, we're going to have a nice little short sermon to say that we only made it here because of Shar. Do a couple other things for it. Nice little ceremony. Make sure we do a freshwater washdown, and then the crew has liberty.
Okay, so you're looking at 4 hours of
We got to do it right. We're going to do it right.
of mooring time. The crew starts their preparations. Freshwater washdown is kind of a weird scenario here. It's generally considered a waste of fresh water. So
We have people that can create water. It's not a waste. We want
Okay.
to make sure it's clean before we leave.
All right. So you guys you get the decks start getting scrubbed and the sails trimmed and everything is all the maintenance is being taken care of. Yeah. Does anybody decide to depart the boat early?
If it doesn't look important, I'm going to leave.
Okay. I mean, it's just maintenance. Your presence is probably not required for this.
I'd go too then.
Yep, I'm leaving.
Okay.
I think
As you guys do leave, one of the crew sounds a really annoying whistle as you guys each leave. It's not an alarm; it's more of a respect thing, but it's really shrill and as they pipe you off.
Darn bosun pipe.
But Full Moon, you're sticking around, right?
Yeah, I'm sticking around to make sure they need the moral support and anything else they might need, and start talking to a couple of people about supplies and a couple other things. I'm also going to be talking to Rindle to make sure that he heads out ahead of time, goes and talks to the club.
Okay, so for Rindle, as soon as he starts stowing the helm, gets this weird glassy look in his eye. You don't know what's going on, but he seems to be like he never sleeps. That's part of his character. He doesn't sleep. But this weird, like you would swear he's in some sort of seizure. He's frozen. His eyes are rolled into the back of his head. You don't know what's going on, but he seems lost in his own thoughts right now, I guess. I don't know if you want to interact with him at all when he's doing that.
Well, I try to poke him a couple times, see if he reacts.
No real reaction. Every once in a while when you poke him, you get words coming out. The word obis gets mentioned. You hear Suavos, the planet you're on. The word Primus comes out, and then the name Nicol Bolas. It is murmured, but it is disjointed and weird. You actually see his mouth sometimes move like he's in conversation with somebody, but that's about it there. Okay, so we'll go back to Mist. Mist, you're coming up to Lioness.
Yeah, I'm coming up to the Crimson Zephyr, requesting permission to come aboard, and then
They're not aboard; they're on the docks in front of.
okay.
They're right in front of the brow. As you come up, you can see basically Molly is telling Mist that
Miss?
Lioness that Warren has to stay behind, or at least Nubby does, because the risk of the Ankylosaur becoming full size is too high to carry on the boat. She doesn't the decks could not take the weight of a full size Ankylosaur.
Okay.
Um,
Does Lioness reply at all, or Warren?
Warren seems sad, but Lioness is like, you'll be fine for 3 weeks. as soon as I get to Akira, I'll use transport via plants and I'll retrieve you. But she's right. Nubby is, well, huge in his actual form.
Okay. So if that seems to be like a pause in the conversation, because it would be rude to interrupt, I will come up so that they could actually see me. And once they acknowledge me, I'll say, "Good morning, Lioness. I'm back. Did I hear you're going to Akira?"
Before we get to that, I want to because I'll explain this for Shayna, and because it hasn't come up in a very long time.
Yep.
Yes, there is an ankylosaur. There is Warren, who is a young, basically ranger. His animal companion is an ankylosaur, but Lioness keeps it small.
Like shrunk down.
Yeah. It's
Oh my
about the size of
God,
a
love it.
turtle right now, but
It's a pocket ankylosaur.
yeah. So, Miss, what did you ask?
Good morning, Lioness. Molly, I'm back. Did I hear you say you were headed to Akira?
Yeah, yes, I did. And then she looks at you, kind of squint. This is Lioness. Squints, and you should be too.
What do you mean I should be too?
She actually starts sniffing you.
I sniff her back.
Okay, so you get a wave of herbs and various winter plants. The conclave is about to happen, and you seem to have grown, and you're gonna have to join me. She just sighs.
I get to go to the conclave?
I don't know if "get to" is the right term.
Okay, what's the right term?
Obligated
Have
to?
Obligated to. Okay. When
It's
is
not.
the conclave?
It's on the vernal equinox. Approximately 3 weeks. It will be in it'll be in the town of Cherwood on the continent of Akira. The druidess Llewellyn has called it. That's why it's there.
Okay. Do I need a sponsor? Since this is my first time?
I'll sponsor you. But you're plenty powerful. I'm sure one of the seers already knows that you need to arrive. I'm surprised you haven't gotten a message.
Been kind of out of reach for a little while.
Which is bonged, by the way.
I'm not sure.
And why are we?
Why are we looking at Tucker's lap?
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to see my lap. No, I'm having serious audio problems over here, so now I've got like multiple computers running, and I forgot to turn the sound off on one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Join. You can join me if you would like. You can travel with me, or when I pick up Warren, I can grab you.
Well, I'll probably take my ship. It'll be faster than taking the Crimson Zephyr, actually. You're welcome to come with me.
At which point, Mom was like, "That would actually help me out quite a bit. I haven't seen my family in a while, and Lioness kind of ambushed me."
Okay, well, if that's acceptable to you, Lioness, we could take my ship.
As long as it'll get us there in time, I'm perfectly fine. Any transportation. I would travel there myself, or just using my own power, but unfortunately, I'm not familiar with Akira. It's a little warm for my taste.
Yeah, it does get kind of hot there. I turn and look to Warren and Nubby, and I go, I don't know if the Falling Stars crew would want to come with us, we'll have to talk to them. Probably meet up at the Copper Coral later today unless they catch us earlier. My crew does need the night off, and I need to resupply the ship.
Okay, so nautically, just so you know, there is no way the Astral Scythe, like if Nubby went full size, there would be a volume issue.
That's why I mentioned the Falling Star.
Yeah, the Falling Star could actually transport Nubby on its top weather deck. It is big enough. If he went full size, and there's no structural problem because again, you two have spaceships. It's not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So just FYI for anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dahlia and Mealy, what are you two up to since you left the Fallen Star?
I'm going to the nearest bar.
Okay, so
I'm definitely following him.
okay, so the Copper Coral. Mealy, you're aware of this, but you have there is a Cicalia working the bar by the name of Ashlyn. His weird octopus limbs, grabbing various drinks. A tiefling bard bound to a wheelchair is currently playing the violin beautifully. And you see a short, kind of redhead, freckled woman behind a counter, busily working on books and brewing potions, basically. Marlo, did you leave the ship as well?
Yeah, but he would have left on his own. In fact, he probably, before they even got to the docks, he would have had Chad
okay,
amp them off. He's in costume. He doesn't want to be seen in town and draw the master. So
okay, sounds good. So yeah, Chad is actually like, we're gonna kill somebody, dude.
No, we're just jumping.
Okay.
Just skipping this little pond here.
Okay, so he dimension doors you across. And what are you doing? So what are you trying to accomplish? Anything, or just trying to?
He'll probably go and just let Bethany know he's here.
Okay.
But yeah, he's actually just trying to keep a really low profile.
Okay, Bethany gives Marlo a hug and thanks him for, she hasn't seen you in months. And yeah, okay, so you're just keeping a low profile, not really.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably head to the bar later if that's where everyone's kind of meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just wanted to get off the ship without having everybody, he's sure that there's spies.
Yeah, and keeping that, can I get a performance check from you?
Sure.
With advantage because you have a costumer's kit, so.
Okay.
Okay. You're pretty sure no one's taking notice of you. You've actually got this whole Ezekiel Hornswoggle thing down. We'll go to full moon about this time, so we'll skip ahead for a bit unless anyone wants to accomplish anything specific. We'll get to full.
The only thing that I would be doing until I head to the Copper Coral is exchanging seeds with Lioness and then getting supplies for the ship and then head to the Copper Coral.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you do your usual exchanging of seeds ritual and then head to the Copper Coral. Full moon, after a long time of prep work and quarters and everything going on. By the way, about 2 hours into everything, finally Rindle snaps out of whatever he was doing, and then He actually seems to retire to the captain's quarters and is messing around with his charts pretty hurriedly.
Yes. So for those that can't see him from here, he actually has a mustache and a couple different things on his face.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out what we can do for it. So if he doesn't look in the mirror, he won't notice it.
I would say he doesn't look in the mirror. He's just he's busy doing something else, like glasses, mustache, all like.
Yeah, a couple tats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, he's hurriedly working on something in his quarters. He does shut the door, but he doesn't lock it, so you can kind of investigate what he's doing. But that's up to you. But
Well, someone posted there, so as soon as he wakes up, we'll get the notice out to us, so we have to go and come visit him whenever he seems like he's not busy.
okay.
That reminds me though, there is one thing that Marlo needs to do. He needs to. Is there like a professional barber?
Yeah, I mean it has a town.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. He needs to go get his feather beard shaved.
Oh yeah, that's right. 'Cause you haven't sneezed yet. Yeah, it's shaved off. It's they look at you confusedly, but they just kind of
I was experimenting. You know, shit happens.
okay, and they get rid of the weird feather beard that you grew.
Does it grow back?
No.
Okay.
So you guys meet up at the Copper Coral, or Full Moon? Do you go somewhere else?
Well, I stopped by the club. I'm saying I didn't think they were going to wait long enough for us to join him at the club, so I was going to join him at the Copper Crawl. So I was going to go to the club, make sure, do my rounds, and then walk around, find the mayor, and work my way around. Eventually, get to the Copper Crawl.
Okay. So first, when you stop at the club, you get. Let's see, it's been 2 months. You actually get a book of just about anyone any of the sailors who came in the last 2 months. You have basically all of their names. They've been working the docks pretty regularly. You found that most of the townspeople, if you hadn't gotten their name in their first few months, that you weren't going to get their name. But just about everybody on the docks, you've gotten the new sailors that came in. So you have about 2 books worth of names now.
Awesome. And I pass off the new books to the old books, and I take the other ones.
And you do hear from Niles that the special recruiting has gone fairly well. The town is still kind of reticent, but they've managed to spread Shar's blessing to quite a few of the visitors.
And any word of growth? And I'm pretty much going back and talking about the spread of the what's it called, the fungus. Trying to make sure that it hasn't come back, and if it has, make sure they got eradicated it.
They haven't. So he lets you know that they haven't had any more outbreaks in the northern area, but he's heard of some issues going all the way to. It's really started happening in Greymount. The town of the city of Greymount seems to be experiencing a huge epidemic of Unity users. And that's pretty much it in terms of what you've heard on that front. They've dispatched a few people to handle it, but it's harder to deal with a city the size of Greymount.
Has it grown enough that people who are not actually involved in it would start hearing about it? Like, would addicts start showing up at the church? And
Yeah.
well, they wouldn't probably start showing up at the church, but maybe drag to the church.
Yeah, for those in the medicinal fields, it's very much well known that it's so yeah, it's becoming more and more of a thing. But any signs of it in Kulkarn's Rest seems to be being handled with vicious efficiency. and so yeah. Again, for Shayna's benefit, the party managed to infect the world with spores from Zookdemoy.
Whoa! I'm not sure we infected. I'm pretty sure it accidentally happened.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
I'm pretty
full-
sure it wasn't the party, it was just full moon.
Yeah.
One for all and all for one, everybody.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's what's going on that front. The mayor lets you know that your club has been extremely helpful in rebuilding the town from the attack, and that you are welcome anytime. He's extended the same tax liability that he usually gives to most or recognized religions to your club as well. So you no longer your club is no longer considered an official religion in Kolkarn's Rest. Is no longer considered a cult.
I'm not sure it ever was considered a cult. I'm pretty sure it was a club.
Anyways, so you are officially recognized as a religion by the legal authorities of the of your area. Is there anyone else who you wanted to visit?
Just the mayor, and then I was possibly talking to somebody about maps and double checking with any of our merchants to make sure that our trade route is still good for visits between here and the monastery.
Okay, yeah, trade routes are secure. Pretty much it. Honestly, except for the attack, nothing's really. It's been pretty boring. In the area. In fact, you can kind of tell like some of the soldiers are a little bit bored. They want some excitement. They heard stories of the frontier, and now they're just kind of itching for some violence, I guess. Especially the special members of your club are really itching for something exciting to happen. But that's about it in that front.
So those that are feeling, let's say, filled with the spirit,
Uh-huh.
I'm probably going to send them on a pilgrimage to certain places to help with our spread the word of Shar.
Okay.
And then I'll do a bunch of stuff after.
Specific. I won't go into like specific cities. Are you staying on continent, or are you going to try to take them to the center continent or Akira? Center continent, by the way, is basically like the European analog here. It's developed, but also kind of feudal at the same time. The Akira and here are both larger, but don't have as much population.
I'd say more so coastal towns, but if we can send a small group there to enlighten the people and bring the word of Shar to the world.
Okay. So yeah, I'll make a note of it, and yeah, it's gonna be a bit because Molly is not happy with taking people of your members of your club. She'll do it, but she's not particularly excited about it. So you'll probably have to wait until another ship pulls in. And so we'll go to the Copper Coral then. All you guys end up at the bar as a typical D&D party should.
Yep. I would have taken Lioness with me so she could actually talk to Mealy and the others of the Falling Star because I need to talk to them too, but regarding Nubby.
Well, if you're not gonna set off for a night anyways, it's gonna be a that's where Lioness would stay. She's not gonna head all the way back to her cabin just to come back here. So
No, I would. Okay, so I'll walk in, look around the room, and then go over to Ashland to order some beverages and food.
simple enough.
And then while I'm waiting for the food to come out, if I see Dahlia, I'll actually go over to her because I'm. Is Ashlyn saying Donlin is in?
Donlin is. Donlin's
Okay,
in.
then I'm gonna find Dahlia and go. I have someone that I would like to introduce you to.
Sure.
It's the chef of the Copper Quarrel. He's an amazing chef.
Yes.
So
Definitely interested.
So you're gonna ask for Donlin?
Yep, gonna actually knock on the kitchen door.
Okay. So Dahlia, out of the kitchen, it's rare to see people that are shorter than you, but a small green goblin walks out, chef's hat on, like thing on his shoulder. Oh, hello, I'm Donlin.
Hi, Donlin. This is Dahlia. She is also a chef, and I wanted to introduce the two of you because she is new to the area and probably would like to exchange recipes or something. Also, I'll pull out some of the let's see which mushroom would have grown the best. The morels. I would have pulled out some of the morels I've been growing and for you.
Oh, thank you so much. And he puts it in his pack, into his weird like bag of holding that he uses for all of his food supplies. Um,
And then I'll excuse myself and allow them to talk.
I, as she said, I am Donlin. I am the chef here. Is are you? Where are you from? I don't think I recognize your look.
I'm a halfling. I don't. I just realized I don't actually have a planet or anything that she would be from.
It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. I just your clothes are very different than I'm used to, but you're part of their group. I'm not surprised. He actually whispers conspiratorial to you. You're not gonna try to give me like meat to turn into human jerky, are you?
No, I can't say I'm going to, but I do have some stuff from a giant that if you have advice. I've never worked with a meat this tough before, and I'm just wondering if you think that it would be a matter of something like marinating it beforehand, or would it just be like a long, slow cook?
Honestly, it's bet. I would say you need to make a. I'd almost say to like make a Kelliquin out of it.
Ah,
You're gonna need peppers and some and as much citrus as you can. That should make it less tough. He
oh, like
looks
pineapples.
might work. That might make it a little sweet.
It's true. So I'm like scribbling all of this down. I'm writing it so I don't forget.
Okay. He by the way looks really concerned. He's
It was a request of full moons. I'm trying to get on his good side.
That
Really,
makes
name drop?
sense.
Really?
It seems like he knows everybody.
As soon as you mention full moon, there's this like light of comprehension, and oh, okay. And then yeah, he gives you a full recipe for how to. And basically, you're gonna have to marinate this stuff for like a week in order to make it not super
Alright.
tough.
Got it.
But yeah, he actually shows you his kitchen. It is a very well stocked kitchen of like some spices you've never seen before. A bunch of mushrooms are on the counter. Apparently, this is a thing with Mist and Lioness giving him various spices and food items. But it's not an elaborate kitchen, but it's a good kitchen. You see like little step stools everywhere because the kitchen was originally designed for somebody significantly taller. But yeah, he goes about his work. One thing you do notice is as he's cooking, he does have a talent that you don't quite have, and that seems it seems to be his food is literally magical. As he invests spells into his food. So and
I would ooh and ah appropriately over it.
He does actually provide you. He brings out a cupcake and is like, if you'd like a sample, and it's this little cupcake, and it is radiating magic. He lets you know that if you consume it, you'll have you will gain some moderate protection for approximately an hour.
Oh, okay. I'll scrounge up some kind of box or container that I can carry it around without it getting too beat up.
So basically, when you consume that, you'll be in the effects of a Shield of Faith spell for 1 hour. So that's plus 2 to your AC, and it does not require concentration when you do that. What's everybody else doing?
Well, no, go ahead, Tucker. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I was going to sit down with Mealy and begin discussing with her and anyone else of the party that had joined us regarding that I have to go to Akira. But I'd love to hear what Marlowe's up to first, because it might align with meeting up at the Copper Coral.
Well, okay. So when Ezekiel Hornswoggle gets there,
Mm-mm.
so just for Sheena's benefit, when Marlowe shows up, he's dressed as an old whaling captain with big mutton chops and gray hair, and kind of like he walks in kind of feebly, but then kind of dances around not so feebly. Glad hands with a lot of people, and he's gonna go up to the bar and he's gonna order 2 of that dwarven specialty he had last time.
Yep, a dwarven triple.
A dwarven 2 dwarven triples.
Okay.
He's gonna sit down with 1 in front of him, and if Dahlia is back, he's gonna sit in front of her. Otherwise, he's gonna sit in front of an empty chair where we're all sitting.
Okay. Are you gonna drink yours?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Constitution save.
Ezekiel, what does those things taste like?
Oh, I don't know. Halfway through, you're too drunk to taste anything.
Okay.
It tastes like birdie.
Okay, I'll be back. Mist is going to go up and order one. She's curious because this is the second time he's drank one.
Okay. And you drink one?
Yeah, I start drinking it.
Okay, you're immune to poison, so you can't be drunk.
Which is surprising to Mist because this is new.
Yeah. Okay. You actually succeed on your first con save. You're not passed out drunk yet. You are tipsy, Marlowe, but it's thick. It burns. It's malty.
I look down at the glass and back up at Marlowe. Are you sure this is alcoholic? I mean, it burns, but
You can smell the alcohol still.
Yeah.
Like,
Really, you don't feel anything at all?
no. I continue. No. I go ahead and drink more of it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm gonna go back to the bar and order a dwarven septuple.
Oh no.
okay, I'm not going to maybe roll a con save. You are
Oh no, not for Marlowe. He bought it for Mist
okay.
Okay.
because Mist wasn't strong enough.
It's
Okay.
like, thank you. So,
Basically, when he says dwarven septuple, all you're getting is like septuple is what 7, so you're getting basically a double, like instead of a mug, it's now like a pint, and then just a little overflowing in order to make it like if they look at you funny when you say septuple, but they're like, oh, but Ashley goes ahead and pours the whole full thing, so you have this pint. It's sitting in front of you.
thank you, Marlowe. So, I found out that I have to go to Akira. There's a Druids conclave, and I am required to attend.
Says who? I mean,
Lioness.
It's this point, Lioness is like, I did. She is required to attend. She has to declare her territory.
But I was wondering if you guys would like to join me in going to Akira. There is a couple of the monasteries there that you could look into while I'm working with the conclave. Or possibly if you wanted to find out about, there's this plant that it was Yasab and Sasava, I think, had brought back called cacao.
You have no idea who Yasab and Sasava are.
I do. I grew up in Sherwood.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
But supposedly it's they were beginning to bring it back, and it seemed like it's something that would be great for trade and cooking. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm not going to let you disappear again.
Oh, thanks, Marlowe. And I kind of headbutt his shoulder, and then start.
It's not
drinking this-
Marlowe. It's Ezekiel Hornswoggle.
Sorry, Ezekiel. Thanks, Ezekiel Hornswoggle. And I headbutt his shoulder, and then start drinking the dwarven septuple.
It's still like you're not entirely like you're not gonna get poisoned from this stuff, but like it's so thick, like it's making you full.
Like drinking maple syrup.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say it depends on what ports they want us to try to trade with. Or do we have extra planes that we plan on going?
You mean for the cacao? Well, we could actually set up trade at the different ports that we pull into, and we've already got some points of contact on Ravenica and Eberron. We could start trading.
Well, if we do that, I'd like for us to decide on a symbol, since we're
I'm gonna be right back while you guys
Okay.
are doing this.
For Canopy Corp?
Sorry about that, I got cut off. I'm saying our Canopy Corporation. If we have a symbol that we can actually use to get our business out there and get more trade.
That would be a good idea. Is anyone good with designing something like that?
Hopefully we can find somebody. We might even make a contest out of it for the townspeople. Just get them involved in it to be part of this corporation, the ground floor.
Okay. I think it's worthwhile. Oh, by the way, Full Moon. As far as I know, there's no temple to Shar on Akira. So if you're interested in expanding out your worship of Shar, you might want to come with us for that.
Possibly, but I just got back, so I'd like to make sure the club is up and running, and if they need me, and a little FaceTime here and there.
Okay.
But thank you for the offer. I mean, there's still time.
Yeah, I unfortunately am going to have to leave in the morning to start heading to Akira. I mean, I'll be able to make it there plenty of time with the Astral Scythe, but there's normally, from what I remember hearing from Llewellyn before, there's things that have to be set up for the conclave, and I'd like to assist with it since I'm required to attend.
Need any help?
I don't think normally that I think it's only the druids that are involved with setting up, but I do appreciate the offer.
Yeah, Mist, you would know that the Druid Conclave it's an open secret, but it's only druids that are ever involved with it in it. The orders are very secretive, so.
Well, if you can make us temporary druids, or if we take a level in druid, can we join you?
Well, for the conclave, even I haven't been allowed to attend. You have to be a druid of a high enough power to attend.
So are you excited? Like, do you want to do this?
I am really excited and really nervous. I know that there's going to be more responsibility, and I have to declare my territory, but other than that, I'm not quite sure what to expect.
But I mean, you want it, like, because
Yes.
like this talks like it's an obligation. You ain't obligation. You shit.
Thank you. No, I do want to do this.
Will there be good food?
Yes, there should be very good food. Though the Akiran cuisine, by the way, does tend to be a bit spicier than what we'd find here at Kokarin's Rest. It's not that kind of claiming of territory, Full Moon.
Right, right. And he scoots his chair back a little bit. So does anyone else have any ideas?
I'm good with going.
Do we know if if we know that Rindal has anything he wants to do, or before we
around
decide?
this point, so I'll take over his character for a bit because I have an idea of what's going on. At this point, he does walk into the bar. He actually seems to be looking for you all, and
Is he low profile at all, or is he
doesn't care.
bring the best crowd?
He's actually like, as soon as he sees you, despite your costume, like he kind of looks at you and like, Marlowe, we need. I need to tell you some things. Which is weird for Rendell to volunteer.
I don't know who Marlowe is. I'm Ezekiel Hornswoggle.
Ezekiel Hornswoggle. I need to tell you some things. Get everybody together.
I think we're all together.
Or all the table, Rendell.
Gotcha.
You notice
like-
this?
Okay.
Well, do you mean you also
It
want
really is me.
Dahlia?
You're confused.
Yes. And around this time, I would imagine Dahlia and Donlin's conversation would have ended. So, and Donlin would, as soon as you guys stop talking, I'm like, I do need to get back to my meals. I'm
Of course.
So you walk out. Rendell's there. Marlowe in his weird Ezekiel Hornswoggle outfit, but Rendell is just so there might be an issue. Well, there is an issue, and I don't know how bad it's going to be.
Oh, okay, what's the issue?
There is a creature by the name of Nicol Bolas, and I seem to have managed to get his attention about something, and it might cause us issues in a month. It might cause us issues in a century. I don't know, but it's going to be a problem when he shows up.
If he comes in a century, it's not a problem for me.
It just, I apparently made a mistake of involving, like, because I wasn't aware of something, and my patron has let me know of the issue. And we might need to start preparing for the end of the world.
Well, did you use a symbol while we did it? While you did it? We'll make sure we don't use that symbol. Yeah, Full Moon had a really good idea.
It's less of an issue that of Nicol Bolas knowing who I am, and more of an issue of now he knows where I am, and there's things about this world apparently that shouldn't be given to creatures looking to be gods.
So are you telling me that you're leaving to another planet to save us?
It's not. Unfortunately, it's already too late. It had my companion already gave up the information.
So this creature that's trying to become a god is going to be coming here.
Yeah, looking for a sword, apparently. A very specific weapon.
Is
Okay.
it that sword? And he'll point to the sword on his back.
Actually, no. It's something worse. He's looking for the first sword.
The first sword.
I bet you the first sword really sucks.
I was just thinking that.
Oh, it does. Unfortunately, it's also apparently a god of war.
A sword is the god of war.
Yes.
Okay, so, but it's still a sword.
Yes.
So
Do I know anything about it?
Make a religion check. This is a DC 25.
Oh, Jesus.
roll really well. Can I? Well, no, I wouldn't know that. Never mind.
The only person that would possibly know this would be Mealy, and it's
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah.
so does that mean we need to find the sword first?
I don't. I asked Fee that, and I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
It has a tendency to surface every, I don't know, 20 years or so, and it's like cities burn because of it in one night.
Okay.
Well, maybe we could find it and drop it in the river Styx. It's like our abyssal sewer.
The issue is if you can control it long enough to do so, although that is a plan.
How do you control it?
You need somebody of a very strong soul.
Does he look at anybody when he says that?
Weirdly, he looks at both Full Moon and Marlowe seem to be the ones that would most likely be able to handle it. But even he's like a strong soul and wise beyond their years. At which point he looks away from Marlowe.
Hey, I got a wisdom 14.
There is great possibility of wielding such an opportunity. But as usual, I must confer with Shar.
Okay. But that's so. That's about the amount of information Rindle is willing to give you right now. All of you, like, I'm not even going to require insight checks. He's definitely holding back more, but that's the most he's going to give you right now.
Yeah, he does that face thing he does when he lies.
Well, maybe we just need to try to find some things to prep for this Nicole Bolast.
I heard Nickel back.
He can't be that bad. We should just kill him.
I don't know if Nickelback is coming to Suabos. It's pretty horrible.
I mean, the Circle of Druids are pretty powerful. We have to go. I mean, you're going in there anyway, so.
Yeah, I can definitely bring this up to them during the conclave.
This is like a planetary threat.
Yeah, and I think that's part of. I think that would be a good thing to bring up at the conclave because the druids are going to be coming from all over.
Plus, it's like really good when you're like the new person to like be able to contribute right away.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I'll bring it up during the conclave and try to get some ideas of how we can prep for Nicole back.
Yep, that's his name.
Poor Scott.
I actually enjoy this. That's horrifying.
Yep.
Well, I think it'd be more fun if we get the name wrong the whole time, and we've been, spreading the word, and then we eventually meet the person, and they're like, "My name is," you know what I mean? So the whole thing.
Yep. Lioness was gonna come with me, but she did have, I think, something to ask you guys about your ship. A problem with Warren's Nubby.
Oh, at this point, Lioness, if you remember, like, yes, it seems you, according to Mist here, your ships can take quite a bit of weight. Is there any way you would accept Warren and Nubby on your ship?
I mean, unless we're all traveling on the Astral Scythe together and leaving the Falling Star behind.
Was Warren staying with Linus when we left? Like, Warren didn't go with his sister?
Warren did not go with his sister.
I wonder how Catherine's doing.
Well, she's in Greymount and having to deal with Unity right now, so that there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
So she's like, so is that all right, Warren? Come with you, or are we taking one ship?
Well, if we're taking both ships, I don't see why it would be a problem for him to come aboard.
Rindle is like, it's no problem either way for me.
Well, Captain says yes, and I think we can agree.
Okay, we're taking 2 ships.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense for Rendell anyhow, because he wouldn't want to leave the carriage behind.
Oh, the carriage.
Oh, the
Which
carriage.
you do realize, Mist, because of your carriage, you could actually get there in 2 days.
Well, except Rendell's the one that drives, and he's never been to Akira.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so.
I mean, with the ships, it's practically 2 days anyhow. We go up and then come back down.
Yes. Okay, so is that it for you want to accomplish, and you'll shove off the next morning?
I think
Yep.
that's all I want to accomplish.
Do we only have a day to prep before this trip? Because it seemed like she was leaving one day. And
You could take
I'd like
longer.
to take time. Yeah, I think it would be better for the crew because we just got back into port. They spent all that time getting the ship ready for a long import, and then telling them we have to get underway next day. I'm pretty sure morale's going to be hurt.
So it really would only take 2 days with these ships. So it actually would take less time with these ships. It'd take about 16 hours. So you could spend the entire 3 weeks here if you would like.
Do we need a full complement still? Since we're not going to be using the cannon, we'll just
No, you could go to a skeleton crew. Actually, with the amount of party you guys have, you could do the ship without the crew. Just as long as you're not expecting a fight. Now, Mist is going to need a crew. She can't pilot her ship by herself.
No, I need at least one other person, but I have a 5-man crew to assist me.
Yeah.
If we were to take just my ship, you could leave the Falling Star behind for its dry dock or dockside and leave the entire crew there, and we could just take my ship. But then Lioness is just going to have to transport via plants back to get Warren.
Which might be an easier thing, because, again, it's going to take you a day.
Mhm.
It's all up to you guys.
It's good either way for me.
Would I be able to have a small place for myself? Because I would feel lonely without Char.
On board my ship?
A room closet.
So long as you don't actually sanctify it for Shar, I can find a small closet for you to converse with her.
Seems possible. Rendell, do you think that we should leave the carriage here? Or would you want to take the carriage there after?
We can hoist the carriage on. I'm sure we can replace a lifeboat on the astral site with the carriage.
I thought you already said it wouldn't fit.
No, it'll fit. It's just gonna be weird.
It's
Okay.
already weird as it is on ours.
It won't fit in the lifeboat like harness. It'll just have to be on the davit the entire time.
Okay.
So it'll just be swinging. It'll be actually kind of a hazard when you're on the weather deck because it's just kind of swinging there.
Is there any way to strap it a little bit?
You
where
could
it's
like
not-
tie it to the rail so it's not moving, but it's going to impact your ability to traverse the deck.
I mean, we could also just meet you there. I mean, we could meet you there.
Yeah, you could. I would be fine with that.
Well, he was
It'll
actually
give-
talking to Rendell.
Oh, Rendell, right.
I mean, then we don't even have to hoist it. You know, we'll just be there. And
I can meet you there. That's probably a good idea. I have some things I need to take care of in hell anyway, so. And it's things that I might have to do alone.
Okay.
Apparently, I have a legion that I have to take command of.
Okay. So I guess that settles that. Rendell will meet us there in a day or two, and we'll leave the Falling Star behind for repairs and for their crew. And we'll head off in the morning.
Sounds good. And then we'll making sure we be drinking tonight, especially with our crew. Make sure everyone's happy and make sure nobody walks out tonight.
Okay. So at night, I will go. Me and Becca will actually switch positions here in just a second. But for full moon, your dreams are of Shar. She appears to you in her kind of shadowy form. Full moon. You have returned to me. You were away for a bit.
Not by choice, my lady.
I've been monitoring you since you got back. Your friend Rendell seems to have imparted some disturbing news.
Yes, apparently he stepped in something and he wants us to help clean it up.
Yes, it would be advantageous if you didn't let the world implode. I have plans for Suavos. I will let you know, Primus is currently in the hands of a Imperial Dragon, a purple dragon. He's set up a trial. He's actually nearby your little club. If you want to try to retrieve Primus, you'll have to go that way. But be careful. You've dealt with weapons with personalities before, but Primus is stronger than all of them.
So Scott, double checking, Primus is the same sword that Rendell was talking about?
Yep.
Okay, because I don't remember hearing the name, so just want to
Yeah.
make sure. Same.
Yeah. Rendell's being
Okay.
cagey.
If it is your will, my lady.
Just be careful with that weapon. If you can get somebody else to hold it, probably be better for you, for your sake.
Okay, so double checking, are we planning on getting the sword before we leave? Or are we going to go leave to get the sword? Because that's what I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay, so the sword is nearby, but she's letting you know that it's... Let me be clearer. that you probably want to strengthen yourself, and that it's going to be quite a bit of a trial to get to it. If you can, and she's basically lets you know you're currently not strong enough to wield a sword. No one in your party is, but you could probably make yourself strong. If you can make yourself stronger before you try to take it.
And does she give me any suggestions on strengthening myself? Because the whole point is, if we're not strong enough, we might have to delay the trip. Because I mean, pretty much everyone's drunk off their ass, and I'm pretty sure no one's going to want to leave right away if we have to get stronger.
No, there's not going to be a montage.
I would say Shar would probably mention that heading to Akira and
Oh, actually, she does let you know that in Akira there is a storehouse of ancient magics, by the name of
Ruby Sanctuary.
the Ruby Sanctuary and the Academy, the Magic Academy,
Bleepworths.
and Bleepworths. If you can go to the ruins of the Ruby Sanctuary and Bleepworths, you can get some ancient magics that might help you contain Primus's personality.
And I'm wondering how long that's going to take. Because like I said, if I can do it in the night, I'll try to do it in the night. But if we have to take a couple hours, I'm probably going to wait till everybody wakes up.
You need transport to Akira. You need to get to that continent, which is where everyone's going anyways.
Okay, so I'm confused here because I was thinking that the weapon is close to one of my clubs, but we have a club in Akira or a club here that I can go to,
It's
or do I
close-
have to?
So Primus is... Okay, I'm going to be very clear. This is out of character knowledge, but I'm going to be very clear. Primus is currently held by Thrace, whose cavern system is that dwarven mine on the other side of the mountains from where you are.
Okay, that makes sense. But I have to go to Akira first to get the strength to come back and get the sword. That's my
Correct.
understanding?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. I was just trying to figure that out. I'm like, this is going to take a quick trip, or I'm going to have to run in the evening time, move around, get what I need to, then wake everybody up. Time to get the sword. Go grab the sword, and then go to Akira.
Yeah, no, it's...
It's in pawn shop.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we'll move on to the next morning. And Becca, you are now the DM.
Okay. I do request a very brief 10-minute break for everyone to get water, use the restroom. Namely, I need to use the restroom before I take over. And then we will start.
Okay.
For those viewers at home, please enjoy our commercial.
Our lack of commercial.
Insert your ad here. Some of you know me from the game as Full Moon.
Contact us if you want to sponsor during these commercial breaks.
Okay. I actually want... Well, crap. Not what I wanted to do.
Darn my small bladder.
So for the record, and everyone else still watching, she already went and marked her territory.
Uh-huh. By the way, if anybody's interested, if they wanted to actually look at the straight Twitch stream right now, you can see kind of how the overlays work. My character that I'm going to be running, while Becca's DMing, and Arlo's character is up there. What's weird about the overlay is that it does not actually seem to work when you watch it. Like it's a weird widget that like it only comes up when you're watching something live. It doesn't actually work when it doesn't even appear when you're watching past broadcasts.
Really?
Interesting.
Well,
So what if I like change my hit points? Will it pop up and show something on the Twitch as it's gone?
yeah, and if you add a condition or anything like that to it.
Oh, I figure out how to actually do that.
Like I can go ahead and bring up my character.
I think it's just in D&D Beyond that you can do that, right?
Yeah. So like I can change my so I'm gonna do damage. Let's say 40 points of damage. And there is a stream delay too. So like, so I just dropped my hit points and it dropped it on the overlay. And then I can also, where is conditions? Like I'll just turn on blinded and it should come up. That I am blinded. Oh yeah, and the little blinded icon appeared on it. Sorry.
So on the character sheet, where do you do that?
Okay.
Where is the condition?
So if you see your hit, you have your hit
Oh,
points.
I see it. Never mind. Just found it.
Okay.
Right next to the hit points. Yeah, and you
Uh-huh.
just have little switches.
Sorry.
Well, that's cool.
Okay.
Does it do all the math on the other side?
What do you mean all the math?
Like if you have a, oh, I guess there isn't a lot of math because it's all advantage and disadvantage now.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just there's a pop-up tool that'll also tell you what each one is. So like if you click on the icon, I can see what blinded is. Anyways, Becca, you're now the DM.
Okay, I am ready if everyone else is. All right, the morning dawns, and I am going to need Dahlia and Marlowe to do a Constitution saving throw to see how they handled the Dwarven triple over the night.
All right. I'm doing it wrong.
Ooh, okay. So Dahlia, you are hungover. You are nauseous. You have a headache. Marlowe, you feel pretty good. A little bit of a headache, but nothing too terrible.
It's his usual headache.
Yeah, it's his usual headache. But the morning dawns. Is there anything you want to do before you board the Scythe? Nope.
I think so.
All right. So once everyone was on board, Mist takes the helm, and the orcs and Avis actually cast the ship off.
So as
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I was going to say before we get ready to cast off, I want to make sure I give us a prayer for Shar and do this big thing how to do for Shar to bless our trip.
Okay. The crew just kind of ignores you as they're going about their business, but they don't interfere with you at all. Mist takes the astral scythe and coasts it out away from Kulkaran's Rest before leaving the planet and then bringing it back down, expending spell slots as she does so. Lioness is, because Mist is Mist and didn't give Lioness any notice, is looking around in wonder as you guys land just outside of Cherwood. Upon landing back into the water and moving in towards Cherwood, you can all feel the heat and humidity. It is significantly warmer and significantly more humid than up in Kulkaran's Rest. It takes a couple of hours to begin coasting into Cherwood. You can see before you the town of Cherwood, with a wizard spire just to the north of it, lifting up into the air. There's a fairly large-sized docks with several ships actually moored up, with dock workers moving to and fro. You can see quite a few buildings that look like businesses, and you can smell the jungle moisture and somewhat rot and fruit as you come in and moor up. Once the ship is moored and Mist takes the helmet off, she looks around, takes a deep breath, and says, I have to go to Llewellyn's first, but afterwards we could head to my aunt's house, and she would probably be able to provide berthing for you that's more comfortable than the hammocks. Okay. So would you like to join Mist as she heads to Llewellyn's, or do you want to wander around by yourselves? Because Mist would let you know how to get to her aunt's house. She just asks for maybe an hour before you show up so she can brief her aunt first. Which, Mealy, because you're so perceptive, when Mist mentions her aunt, she seems nervous, as though she's not quite sure how that's going to go.
All right. I'll be like, need somebody come with you, Mist?
I would appreciate it.
I'll come with you.
I haven't seen my aunt since I don't know if she's going to recognize me, and I'm kind of worried about it.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Anyone
How
else?
big's how big's the city?
So it's actually a pretty good sized town. It's not quite a city, but the population is around 4,500 people.
So
And it looks mostly like a frontier town that's been growing, and it's because of trade that it's grown so much.
you know what? I think I'll catch up. I'll let you. We don't want to frighten your aunt too much.
Okay. So she'll let you know that her aunt is actually on the southern side of town, right near one of the baker's shops and one of the glove maker's shops. It's pretty easy to find. You just head south, and as soon as you can smell the baking bread, take a right.
Yes. Oh, so before we leave, Mist, did you want someone to prep your aunt before you arrive?
No, I wouldn't want that. I want to see her first. I think it'll go a little bit better. And with Mealy should be able to help explain my new appearance. If you are interested in, there is an apothecary in town and an alchemist, and there's several taverns. I think the Crowbar is probably the most popular with a lot of people. There are 2 trading companies here, Elbon and Vega, and the Golden Sea Trading Company.
So also, if she doesn't believe you, I have parts of your cocoon to show her.
Oh, that's a good chance. She might not. She might not recognize you.
Yeah, she might not.
I think I'd be more surprised if she does recognize you.
It's a little hard to say. I mean, people seem to have been recognizing, like, Lioness and the people at Golcarn's Rest by my mannerisms. I'm kind of hoping my aunt will too.
No, we've been telling them all ahead of you.
Yeah, but my aunt doesn't know any of you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, she's not like, is she like a druid too? I mean, Lioness just saw.
No, my aunt's not a druid, at least not to my knowledge, unless she's hiding that. Don't think she'd hide that from me.
I don't know, did your smell change?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to smell yourself. Did my smell change?
I don't know. Who remembers what Mist used to smell like?
Probably just full moon. To full moon, after Mist came out of the cocoon, her smell did change slightly. It smells slightly more reptilian than cat.
Yeah, and I would let her know.
Okay.
I mean, and look around and go, like, that's not weird, right? That I know what everyone smells like.
I don't know. With some of the things that have happened, I think it'd be a little weird if you didn't know what everyone smells like. Full moon.
Well,
Thanks. Don't want to be the weird one.
I don't know, like how are clerics of the Mothers of Spiders like respected around here? I mean, you will have Mealy with you.
Oh, the Mother of Spiders is very predominant here. She is worshipped along with the Lord of Serpents. Actually, the temple serves all three of the fates, from what I understand. But my aunt actually worships the Mother of Spiders, as do many of the people here.
Well, maybe that will help. I mean, you wouldn't lie to a follower, right, Mealy? I mean, your people. I don't know. Pretty
would I-
truthful.
Yeah, why would I do that?
Well, I mean, like, obviously you wouldn't do that, but like the people you work with, like your associates.
Marlo, why would you assume people of faith lie? That's unheard of.
I'm just that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like you can vouch. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess let's go, Mealy. And Mist will start leading you off into town. What are the rest of you doing? And Scott, where is your character right now?
So the character I'm playing is going to probably be in her little temple and administering basically alms in the center of town. The others, Isab would be in his office, and Malit would be in a bar.
Yeah, I figured Malit would be at the Crowbar.
Yeah.
Because that was her favorite place to hang out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marlo, Full Moon, and Dahlia. What are the three of you doing?
Actually, Marlo's gonna go to the bar.
Okay.
So Full Moon's going to try to find his way around the city, just have an idea, sightsee a little bit, maybe figure out where the bar is at, eventually end there, but looking for a church possibly, looking for a place for maps so he can actually make some materials for maps, and then possible trade options for different places, continue the trade routes.
Beautiful.
Working with Rendell, of course, and walking around with Rendell if he has no place to go.
And Dahlia?
Probably trying to find a hangover cure or ingredients to make said such thing. If that leads her to the bar and they happen to have one, sure, but yeah, first priority.
Well, for hangover cures, unless you're going to the apothecary, probably a bar would be a good spot because you could get something like a Bloody Mary.
That's what I was thinking, actually. So I'll probably do that then. But I won't be drinking whatever Marlo drinks again. I learned my lesson.
Okay, let's start then with Full Moon and Rendell. Scott, since you were taking over Rendell, if you want to Jaeger his character for me for the conversation with the Full Moon regarding the cook. But as you walk through...
No, why did we bring a cook? I'm not paying her. She hasn't cooked the whole time we traveled. I don't even know why we brought her.
You don't know.
You're
that.
right. I would know.
She was useful in a fight when we were in. She was useful in a fight when we were in Vinica, and I mean, we need a cook.
Well, I don't know if she's useful in a fight. She's not wearing a red shirt, so I don't feel very confident fighting with her.
She's also, all those. She has some skills, and all those traps that we kept on setting off. That's why she's here.
We set up traps without her. Why does she need to be here?
She will aid us in not setting off those traps, and maybe I won't pass out nearly as much.
Okay, so as you walk through, you can see the two trading companies that Mist had mentioned. They're very close to the docks. Walking along, you can see where the Crowbar is, which is mirrored on the other side of the street by the Hairy Minotaur. Walking towards the center of town, you can actually see the temple that Mist had mentioned caters to the different fates. So would you like to head there, or would you like to head down what looks like a business area that has a bookstore, some buckle makers? It looks like there's some carpenters and chandlers down that street as well. So there's the temple, and then towards the right looks like a kind of a business area.
Well, since we found the temple, business before pleasure, so make our way toward the business area and try to talk and spread a little bit of the Canopy Company.
Okay.
So that's where my character would be, right?
Well, you would be at the temple. If
Yeah.
they're going to the business area, that's a little bit different.
Okay.
So if it makes it easy for you, like maybe I see an arm or something near the temple, I'd have no problem stopping by and talking to somebody. It was just a matter of us getting to the building. There's no one really to chat to. We saw the business area. We'd go that way. But since we saw someone possibly, we'd stop and chat.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you see a woman, very dark skin. You see hints of scales under her eyes. You've interacted enough with Yanti to recognize one when you see one. Her hair is black with the tips ending in like a dark crimson. It's cut pretty short, like a razor cut, except that she has a single braid coming down in the front of her ear with a feather tied wrapped in it. She's wearing extremely dark plate mail that doesn't actually seem to be made out of metal. It seems to be made out of some type of insect hide. You see more of, on the few parts of her skin that are actually exposed. You can see hints of those scales again. Oh, newcomers.
We are new. That's what you were asking.
Have you come to worship in the temple of, to the unified temple, to your chosen deity?
If we were allowed to, and I look at Rendell to try to figure out if he's okay with giving me like 5 minutes so I can pray, because I know he's busy.
Rendell would nod his head.
Okay. But of course, could you please lead the way?
Of course. And who, if you don't mind me prying, I'm deeply sorry if this offends. Who are you planning on praying to today?
That is of my own business. If you would like to share in the prayer, then I have no problem sharing with you. But if you are just observing, I'd rather not say.
Sasava would know that they can actually provide other areas for other deities, and that would be why it would be important to know, because some deities require specific
Right.
setup.
We cater to, the temple caters to all faiths. Regardless of your bent, yes. I just was trying to make sure we provided you the appropriate space. But if you are hesitant to share, that's perfectly fine. My deity itself is not well known. Kotal, the feathered dragon, is not that well known outside of the person who raised me. But all accoutrement of every major faith is available here, and we can get you anything that you require. My name is Sasava, by the way. It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't think I've cut your name yet.
I haven't tossed it your way, but nice to meet you. I guess you can call me Buddy.
All right, buddy. Please, whatever floats your boat, uh, please come in.
How did you know we came on a boat?
Everyone comes in on a boat that's new here.
That makes sense. So Shar is the one and only true faith. So if you have a section for Shar, I didn't want to take away all the space in your temple.
Uh, we don't have a space set aside for sure. We have
Oh,
had
do you
some
need help?
worship. We've had some worshippers in the past, so we have some of their items. You can definitely use. And I would take him to the nearest closet, honestly. And like shuffle off and go find some items from previous Shar worshippers.
Okay. We'll stop there for full moon and go back to Marlo and Dahlia. When you make it to the Crowbar, there is a old human gentleman behind the bar. There is a tabaxi who's not wearing anything, actually, except a couple of bracers on her arms. Mist, when she was a tabaxi, was melanistic, very black. This tabaxi looks spotted like a jaguar. It has a very strong, muscular build. And she has a drink in front of her and seems to be petting this gigantic otter next to her and kind of like patting it on the head.
But she's just at like a table, or
Yeah, she's kind of towards the far end of the bar, kind of at the bar itself, but toward the far end of the bar.
Marlo goes up to the bar and to the old gentleman behind it.
Hello, welcome to the Crowbar.
Well, hello. My name's Marlo. How are you?
I'm well. I'm Janice. It's nice to meet you.
Janice.
Mhm.
Are you the owner of this establishment?
Owner and bartender.
Well, I mean, it's kind of early. I think my friend over here has a bit of maybe imbibed a little bit too much. I don't know. She was partying with me. Maybe that's something for that. But I wanted to talk to you about something else.
All right. I can work on something for her while we chat. And
Figure I would clamber up to whatever chair I can manage to sit in and just watch.
so he's making a Cherwood hangover cure. You're not quite sure what it is, but he's putting peppers in it and celery and something red.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
You know what? You should make 2 of those. I'll take one of those too.
All right, I can do that. So he adds more ingredients and starts mixing it up. Splits it up into 2 cups, put it in front of you with little green garnish on top. So what can I help you with?
Well, so do you just serve and entertain, or do you brew here as well?
I pretty much just serve. I get all of my materials from other vendors. There is a couple of brew masters in town that I prefer.
Well, perhaps do you have, maybe could I get like maybe a flight of some of the local brews? I let some of my men into the stores of my captain, and you don't do that, so I got to replace those. I got to find her something good.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So he'll start pouring various beverages. There's 5 different types of ale he puts forth. There's some sort of milky yellow shot glass he puts, a couple of wines, and then about 3 clear liquids. So these
Oh,
are the
wow.
ones that are made here in town.
Are you up for helping me figure this one out, Dahlia?
Is this hangover cure working at all? Out of curiosity.
It's starting to. It's good. You realize it's going to take a little bit, but
Mhm.
the headache at least is starting to fade. Your joints are still really sore.
As long as I'm not about to throw up everything that I'm about to help him drink, we're good.
Okay. It does help with the nausea almost immediately, but the
Perfect.
pain section is going to take a little bit longer.
That's okay.
Becca,
Yes.
at about once I get Full Moon settled in whatever he's doing, Sasava would probably actually go to the crowbar to check on Mel.
Okay. Then as you walk in, because that would...
I don't know what your time frame is, but
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It would have taken Full Moon. They would have made it to the crowbar first, so probably about halfway through the flight you would walk in.
Okay.
Okay. So what would you like to start with first? And we do have a few others that are imported from another area of Akira, but these are actually made here in Sherwood.
Well, that's what I'm looking for because whatever I like, I'm probably gonna go to the brewmaster and buy a large quantity.
Okay. So, would you like to start with the beers, that weird milky white thing, or...
Well, I mean, to be honest, I was looking more for like the beers. I mean, I don't want my men drunk right away, you know?
Okay.
Talia definitely wants to try whatever that weird milky yellow white thing is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to start with that, that's...
Yes.
It actually is a milk-based alcohol.
Ooh.
You've never tasted anything quite like it. It has a bit of spice to it as well, kind of like a cardamom and a cinnamon flavor to it. But you can tell that it's actually based off of milk.
Interesting. So it tastes almost like an horchata? An alcoholic horchata, maybe?
It tastes kind of like an alcoholic horchata.
Ah, I love it.
And Janus will say that is actually the preferred beverage of the Tabaxi here.
Is there enough of an alcohol content where it won't spoil?
Yes. That is very important for all of the beverages here, considering the heat.
And well, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get started. He's just gonna start taking sips out of each flight.
Okay. So of the 5 beers, there's quite a different variety. The lighter ones are kind of like a hoppy IPA. The middle ones are like an Irish red, and the really dark ones are like a really good stout. The Anunta is the milky white stuff, which I've already described. The wines all seem to be kind of more like a Zinfandel type wine. So a little bit of spice, but they vary depending on what the wine master did. Some of them are really smooth. Some of them are a little sharp. And then the clear liquids, each of them kind of burn a little bit. A couple of them have kind of a spicy note to them, more of a pepper versus cinnamon. And one of them is, you can tell it's crisp, clear, but it's pretty strong. It burns a little bit on the way down, but it only has a little bit of flavor.
So you think you don't have a bottle of this one laying around? You could just sell me.
Sure, I can do that. It'll be 1 gold, and he'll put it up on the bottle. And this one, it's kind of the bottle itself is very beautiful in that it's faceted, almost like they were trying to make it look like a gem. And It's got kind of like a red top on it.
Okay. So he pays for that bottle.
Mhm.
So do you like the milk stuff, Dahlia? We good?
Oh yeah. This is my favorite so far.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe I should have tried that one. So I'll tell you what, and he'll tell him. Actually, so when Mealy bought the beer, what kind of beer did she buy?
I didn't really choose. It was just whatever was there, whatever they had.
Okay. Well,
So whatever was the main kind of beer or ale that they carry in Kolkarin's Rest.
Scotty,
Yeah.
what is the main kind of beer in Kolkarin's Rest?
Oh, sorry. Trying to remember here. Sorry, I don't have my notes. It's just a dwarven ale generally. It's not just about everything is dark and yeah. I don't have a name for it.
So yeah, so whatever one is closest to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to know where you got this one, and yeah, the milk stuff.
Okay. Well, the milk stuff is actually sold by Taste of Fruit. He's kind of on the eastern end of town. It's pretty easy to find his shop. His shop is just called Taste of Fruit as well. The beers, the one that you're looking at is sold by Forest Stone Shaft. And he's on the northern part of town, pretty close to the Wizard's Tower. But it's the Stone Shaft Ale brewery. About this
Oh,
time,
thank you.
Woodwalking.
Okay.
Well, how much do I need for the flights?
For the flights, just 5 silver.
Okay. He'll give him another gold piece then.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Sasaba goes up to the bartender, not even gonna like, how's she doing?
She's not doing well. I think that's her 5th Anunta today.
She deck anybody yet?
Not yet, but we've only had a couple of customers and motions to Marlo and Dahlia.
Sasaba puts a gold coin down. Just make sure she drinks some water.
He nods.
Hi, I'm Marlo.
Oh, hello. Even more newcomers. We don't really get too many. And what's your Marlo? You said I'm Sasaba. I kind of run the temples around here.
Oh. What kind of temples?
We try to cater to all faiths. Even just today, I had somebody, a dark elf that came in worshiping Shar. We try to have no judgments here.
Oh.
Although we
So you
wish
know-
people would
what-
turn
What
away
do you
from.
know about Shard? Who's Shard?
She is a ghost of an ancient god. We wish people would. I personally wish people wouldn't follow such dark paths, but I cannot turn them to the light if I cast judgment on them.
Well, what path do you follow?
I follow the path of Kodal, the feathered dragon.
You probably would see that there is a tiny dragon on Sasaba's
I forgot
shoulder.
about him.
Yeah. Would you like to describe it?
It's white with like blue veining. Although every time it moves its wings, you can see it. The underside of its wings is a kind of deep red. It also seems to glow ever so
I'm
slightly.
instantly entranced by the dragon.
So, you seem like a good guy, so I'm gonna give you a little tip. I actually know of that drow that you're talking about. He's a pretty good guy, but don't sign anything.
I sign? I don't. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Generally, I don't sign anything given to me by any worshiper.
Yeah, I mean, like, not like contract stuff. Obviously, you wouldn't do that, but I mean, like, don't sign anything.
Like a greeting card.
And you'll get along with them fine.
I would like to know more, and I want to go ahead and use my my channel divinity to my bonus action channel divinity for persuasion check, and I'm going to try to persuade Marlo to tell me more.
I would love to know more too, because no one I think actually explained that. I was just also warned about signing things.
Okay, so what do I make? Just
Well,
wisdom
it's-
check? Will save?
yeah, I rolled a natural 1, so that's to 20.
Oh, you're a lot higher level than we are.
No, I'm a level 10.
Just crazy magic items.
Nope. I'm a level 9 redemption paladin, 1 level rogue. I have expertise in persuasion, a charisma of 20, and my channel divinity as a redemption paladin gives me +5 to my persuasion rolls for 10 minutes.
Good lord. You can find out whatever you want.
So, yeah. So, all right. Is that a sense motive for opposed?
Yeah,
or-
that's up to Becca. It's either an opposed persuasion or a sense motive usually. I'm persuading you, so you can oppose me with persuasion.
Yeah.
Actually,
The
I would-
funny thing is, he's gonna spill either way. But I just want
Right.
to know what I'm rolling.
yeah.
So it'd be probably opposed persuasion or insight.
Okay. Like either one.
Yes, whichever is better for you.
It's better for me. Okay.
Okay.
So why am I not supposed to sign anything from him? I'm very confused.
Okay. So. Wow. I mean, these flights. Probably drank a little too much already. Well, that's okay. You seem like a good guy. And besides, you should know. He's like, Full Moon really wants people to join, right? And if you sign his book, well, I'm not really sure. I don't think it like means that you suddenly start worshiping Shar, but I think it like puts you on her mailing list or something. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so I actually asked a little devil once for help with that, but then he wanted like me to like pay him with souls, and he kept talking in legalese, and the truth is I didn't really understand it, so I'm not really sure.
This seems like a conversation for my husband. I don't think I'm following you very well.
Here. And he'll take out his book.
Mhm.
See this name? Starts with Hez.
Mm-hmm.
If you say it, that demon might show up, and then you can probably like figure out more from that. But I wouldn't do it because then you're gonna have to like give it souls.
I don't willingly talk to devils. But that's
It's usually a good idea, actually.
but I will keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, just don't sign the book.
I won't sign the book.
Okay, so we're gonna pause there and go back to Mealy, if that's all right with you.
Okay.
Right. So, Mist walks you through town. She's pointing different things out, and leads you to a stone house, which, because of your perception and you being a dwarf, you can realize that while it is a stone house with a stone door and a hinge, dwarven or human hands did not make it. It was definitely raised by magic.
All right.
She goes and knocks on the door, and it swings open, and in front of you is a giant snake. It is an incredibly large snake. It kind of cocks its head and peeks its head out of the door, and it goes, "Hello?" And Mist goes, "Hi, is Llewellyn in?" "She is. Won't you come in?" And as you come in, you can see that at the end of the snake's tail is actually a ring,
Uh-huh.
and it slithers through the house, which the house is actually large enough to accommodate it. And it kind of points with its tail to a couple of seats and says, "Please sit down. I will get some beverages for you."
Does this house look bigger on the inside than it does on the outside? Like,
It does.
all right.
So a couple minutes later, floating is a tray with some glasses on it, foam coming out of the top of them. And it kind of like hovers in front of you as the snake is watching you. And Mist goes ahead and takes one of the beverages.
All right. I will take the other,
Okay.
and I'll be like, "What is this?"
It's one of the ales of town. It's the red one.
All right.
A few minutes later, as Mist is sipping her ale, a woman comes out. She is wearing a breastplate. It looks like an insect hide, though, brownish instead of black. She's got tiny snake scales going down her throat. And she's got pale white hair that's almost feathery. She turns to the snake and says, "Thank you, Ozzy Ah, Mist, I'm so glad you've been able to come back. Oh, you must be here for the conclave. Well, we'll be starting preparations in the morning. Expect you to be there since you're already here to help with preparations. Who is your friend?" And Mist goes, "This is my friend Mealy. She's going to help me. I'm so glad that you at least recognize me. I need to go talk to my aunt." And Lioness actually walks in a moment later. And she says, "Very well. If you have nothing else to discuss with me, I will see you in the morning. I will have some things to discuss with Lioness." So is there anything you would like to do before you head off to the aunt's house?
Nope. I'm just going to drink the rest of my drink and take in the sights, I guess. Giant snakes and everything else.
Yep. Okay. So as you're walking along town, heading towards the aunt's house, you see in this section of town, actually, you can tell pretty readily that there seems to be two different dwarf clans here. Couple times you see them arguing in the streets between different members, and you can see a few of them actually hiring prospectors, that prospecting types, as you walk along. Coming up to Miss Aunt's house, it's a wooden structure, fairly good size. There's a Tabaxi woman gardening in the front. She's spotted, not black, and turns to you and cocks her head when you approach. And Mist says, "Hello, Aunt. You probably don't recognize me. Mealy, this is my aunt, Call of a Bird." And the Tabaxi woman goes, "What do you mean I'm your aunt?" I'm Mist. I know I look different. It's been a while." She looks really confused and doesn't look like she actually believes this, but she invites you in.
All right, yeah, and I'll be like, "Oh yes," and I'll come up to her and try to shake her hand, and I'll let my my amulet, my cleric, jingle a little bit.
Okay. She shakes your hand. She sees the amulet. And says, "Oh, you must be a cleric of the Mother of Spiders. Welcome." And coming into the parlor, you can see that she has set up a small worship area for the Mother of Spiders.
All right. And I will explain that. I'm like, although you might be confused, this is indeed your niece, Mist. Some things have happened, and it's probably better for her to explain, but this is Mist.
Okay. So she'll get out some tea. Apparently she doesn't have any ale on hand. And Mist will start to explain. For Dahlia's sake, Mist will explain that at some point she got possessed and reached out to the Dreamer, who stepped in and allowed her to be cocooned to separate her from the possession, but also allowed her to bond with the entity inside of her chain, which, when she came out, this is what she was now. So Mistle will go ahead and make arrangements for the party if they to be able to stay with the ant, and we'll spend some time with the ant catching up. The ant serves you food and beverages as you all chat. So after they start catching up, is there anything you would like to do?
I'll ask about the dwarf clans. See
Okay.
if I could get any information on what's going on there.
Sure. So Call of a Bird will let you know that recently 2 dwarf clans have come to Cherwood. The Clan of the Frostbeards and Clan Stoneshaft. They came because they heard of possibility of new areas to mine, and they have been a little bit at odds in trying to hire different prospectors and adventuring type to try to find the best place to sink their mine. So it's really kind of a conflict back and forth trying to compete against each other.
Do I know either one of these clans?
You probably know the Frostbeards, as they were from the continent that Kulkarn's Rest is on.
All right.
You will Call of a Bird will let you know that the Frostbeards are looking for adventurers. They've had a little bit less luck with the prospectors. They want to go further inland to try to find a good spot for a mine.
All right.
Hey, Becca,
Sounds good.
just to give you a heads up, it's almost 11.
Okay. All right. So, do all of you want to meet back up at the Crowbar, or do you want to meet up at the aunt's house?
Definitely the bar.
Okay. So, I imagine Mealy at some point would head there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have a chance to discuss what route you want to go. Mist will not be with you, so Sasava is still there, and now that all of the party is together, Sasava, you would probably recognize that this is a group that's traveling together, like you used to with Yasab and Malit.
And Reggie.
And Reggie.
Poor deceased Reggie.
Yep.
Okay. And I actually like, oh, you must be an adventuring party. I actually have some work for you to do, which, Becca, I can't remember what the quest is, so.
Okay, so Sasava is aware of Nicole Belast.
No.
Okay. In that case, the quest Sasava would have is she wants to go back to Bleepworth's and the Ruby Sanctuary to get the dangerous items out of there. You were unable to do it before due to your party almost getting wiped out. But you were able to take care of the headmaster, so he at least is not a factor.
There is a there was an incident about 3 to 4 years ago. Me and my group, we were turned away from a area of dangerous magical artifacts. Unfortunately, we all kind of have our own responsibilities now. Mel is, well, you see her, and I indicate that to Poxy. Been drunk ever since Reggie passed, and my husband, he's the mayor of this town, so he's indisposed. But I myself was affected by the poor Grung's death, and I find myself wanting to find something to hit very hard with my sword. And I feel like I might find some redemption in completing the task I failed so many years ago. I can pay you. I have plenty money that I have very little use for, if gold is what you need.
Well, I just don't know if we have the time. I mean, I don't know. Our friend's here for Druid Circle,
Oh, she's if she's
but then
at
we're
the,
leaving.
if she's at the same thing Llewellyn is, you have like 2 weeks.
Almost
Shit, guys, you know it was going to be 2 weeks?
Did she tell any of us that?
Yes. Yes,
just
she
I
did.
believe she did. She had
Yeah.
left that out.
Well, she was kind of discussing it, that it was at the vernal equinox, that she had to get there before that time frame, but she wanted to be there early because she had to set up some stuff.
But she
So
never said 2 weeks.
She did let you know it was the vernal equinox. I guess
Which-
maybe it wasn't as important to you guys as it was to her.
Would she have said anything about when we could meet again to me before I left?
Absolutely. She would let you know that the conclave was in almost 2.5 weeks, and that after it, she'd be able to kind of give you the rundown to visit.
All right. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, she told me it's about 2.5 weeks.
Well, and we also have some monasteries to check out. But yeah, I mean, I guess if we got 2.5 weeks, we might as well do something.
At this point, Rendell would actually speak up. It's like, yes, I wanted to check out I wanted to check out the Ruby Sanctuary myself.
And Sasava, remind me, would Sasava know about the monasteries?
She would know about the Sun Soul Monastery ish, but not about the other one.
Okay. So the Sun Soul
Basically, she would know where it's at. Is all that she would know about the Sun Soul Monastery.
Okay, she knows it's a little past where Bleepworth was then, about 2 days past.
If you're visiting the Sun Soul Monastery, my job is basically on the way.
Oh, it's the Sun Soul Monastery here.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that sounds perfect. That's where kind of I want to go.
Okay.
Are we taking the drunk cat with us?
It's best to leave her here, and generally, if she doesn't want to go anywhere, nothing's gonna move her.
What did you ask her? I mean,
Mal, you coming along?
It's okay. It's all gonna be okay. I stay here. I need to take care of... Oh, great. I forgot the otter's name.
Malcolm.
I'll take care of Malcolm. And Malcolm's pups. So, with that, I think we're going to end today's session with the party making prep works to head off into the jungle towards Bleepworth's and the Ruby Sanctuary. Full Moon, you would have found the bookseller, which is also the cartographer. So that would be where you'd be able to get maps.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Thank you all very much. And I look forward to next week.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
guys.
Sasava, did you have multiple characters you might have ended up playing depending on what we did?
So I'll explain. This is again a previous. These are characters from a previous campaign. It was a one-on-one campaign, but I played a full party, and it was Reggie, a Grung Ranger with a Zeotter companion, but he would be dead by now because Grung don't live very long. His best friend Malit, a Tabaxi barbarian. Yasab, a half-elf bard, and Sasava, a Oath of Redemption paladin. And the only one that wouldn't have anything, because Reggie being dead and Mel being a drunk, Yasab being the mayor, they would all have things to do.
Okay.
You
So
might
we-
have convinced Malit if Sasava hadn't been so available, but Malit's not in a good place right now.
Oh, yeah. I just was wondering.
Mhm.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.